Welcome everyone to another live episode of the Theatre Thoughts podcast. We're down at Meraki Arts Bar again on the gig stage, which I'm very, very excited about. This was actually, I manifested this on Saturday at karaoke, and I went, that's the next step. And here we are. So we are here for Tough Titties tonight. I know, so exciting. And we have two amazing performers with me, so I'm going to introduce them quickly. Over on my far left, we have a Lebanese Australian performer, director and writer. Most recently spent her time in LA studying improv, sketch writing and writing for an original TV series. Co-created, co-written and directed the 3 versions of the feminist comedy show Tough Titties, as well as performing in the latest production tonight, in fact. And you're currently a recipient of the Groundlings SNL Award to continue your studies and coaching to be able to audition directly for Saturday Night Live. It's Kristelle Zabara!
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, I'm excited to have you. And then, of course, we have a multi-disciplinary artist working on Gadigal land who graduated from the Australian Performing Arts Conservatory, most known for her role as Monica in Dags, Leona in Who's the Town? Mm-hmm. Yes, good. Which made its Australian debut as part of the Sydney Fringe Festival in 2018, as well as your performance in Tough Titties, again, tonight. Well done. Also one of the co-creators, co-writers, assistant director and sketch actor since its debut. It's Renae Valastro. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm going to put this big bloody thing away. Okie doke. Well, I'm so excited to have you.
I'm keen as a bean.
How did the show go? That's the big question.
Tonight?
Yes.
Well, yes, we did have 2 people who were away due to illness, but it still rocked on. We still had some pretty tough titties. I'm not going to lie.
Love that.
It was awesome, yeah.
What was the feeling like when you guys found out you were going on tonight? Was it scary or did you go, I've done this before?
Oh, a bit of both.
Yeah. I don't know, you almost prepare yourself as well for it. Like, we've been in the room enough times and also watched the show, I think, as well. So, yeah, it was a bit of both. You just got to do what you got to do and push on.
Yeah, and always keen to get up on the stage. And it's our writing, so we pretty much knew it. So, yeah. It was lots of fun.
Yeah.
It was really good.
We also had our cast is brilliant as well. So they were super supportive.
Right here in the front row?
Yes.
And they were very, very supportive during the whole night,
Yeah.
all of the day. They helped us rehearse and get ready. And yeah, they're very giving and very lovely.
I think a lot of credit actually goes to them for being super supportive. So yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw the show on Thursday. Absolutely loved it. And it is like some of the writing that you guys do, the political satire even, is so biting. And I think it's just it's great. It got my jollies off a little bit. And I was just yes, I love that.
Nice.
So I guess the main question I do want to ask is, where did it come from? Where did it first start?
Oh.
Let's go way back.
Let's go way back in time. Well, after Renae and I met, we instantly hit it off and really vibed, noticed that we had very similar values and political standings and ideas about the world, and really both talked about how we wanted to make a feminist piece that was comedy in Sydney, which is, it's not as I guess mainstream here. And we just kind of got to talking, and then instead of doing what we usually do, which is, I really want to do this. We were let's actually do it. And just really pushed ourselves. A lot of it was during COVID and lockdown, so it was easier to kind of, I guess, zoom in and do all of that. But we just kind of went for it, right?
Yeah, it was, that. And just talking about our similarities when it comes to intersectional feminism, and then our similar interests with sketch comedy, and the fact that, me personally, since I've been in Sydney, I haven't seen too much sketch comedy. So to sort of intertwine both of those worlds was something that really, was quite...
It's the sweet spot.
It is. It's the sweet spot.
Because it is that sketch comedy, as you're saying, is very Monty Python, it's very Auntie Donna, very much that combination of the different sketches that all add up as well. Yeah. So with the performers themselves, amazing job, by the way. Very, very good. A round of applause. How much do the performers add to the show? Because obviously you can write it as much as you want, but once you get in that room and you go, fuck, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
How much do they add to it?
I also must say that the fuck that doesn't work happens so much.
Oh, does it?
It's
Yeah.
insane. But like in the best way. It's we always do like workshopping with the actors, and a lot of them are also writers and creatives, and they do so much for the sketches. They really like bring so much on stage. They do a lot of improv. So yeah, they're a huge part of it, definitely.
Yeah, massively. And I think something that we also like to cultivate, and the cast are so good at just diving in deep with it, is accepting failure. Like, failure is something that we are like, do it here, like make a fool of yourself, and then we can figure out where to go from there. And I can just like heart on my hand trust them to make bold choices, and if it's not right, it's not right. That's okay. That's why we're in rehearsals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Even like just bringing like the most random ideas, like Sophie, who does the puppet behind stage, we were doing so many different things, and I was like, try an accent, and she did this French accent, and we're like, that's it. Like, tried so many different like ways of doing so many of the sketches, but like when you find that like sweet spot, you're like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And it comes from them, you know. It's like everybody knows in a production, it's not just the director, it's not just the writer, it's not just the producer, it's everyone as a whole really putting their whole like self into it and really making it the best that it can be. So that's why Tough Titties is so much fun to work in and I guess watch, because everyone's having like the best
constantly
time.
sells out. Well, this is like round 3, you know?
Round 4.
Round 4. Oh, wow. There you go. Incredible.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, before I ask you any other questions, I'd love to throw it out to the audience. If anyone has a question, I'm going to turn on my little roaming mic. So if anyone has a question, you are more than welcome to ask. Let me see if I can actually do it first.
Hello.
Okay. There you go.
All right. Do I have anyone in the audience who'd like to ask a question? Anybody?
Don't be scared.
Anybody at all? This
We
does
won't
extend
bite.
to the sketch artists if you would like to ask Renae and Kristelle.
Hang on. I think I have a sound effect if nobody asks. Hang on. No. There you go. There we go.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
My God, I'm a comedian.
Do you want to be in Tough
All right,
Titties?
we got one right down the
We've
front.
got one down the front, and I think. All right. Hello. Would you like to say your name? And
Oh, is that a past podcast guest I see?
Hello.
Hi, Emma.
How you going?
Good.
Good. I've actually got a question for Kristelle and Renae. But I was wondering, why did you call it Tough Titties, and was that the first name that you came up with?
That's a great question. We had a lot of different names that we were thinking about. I can't even think of half of them. A lot of them were too risky, I think. I'm literally, for the life of me, I'm trying to like scrounge my brain for this. Can you remember any?
No, I didn't even know we had other options.
We had like, yeah. There were different ones that like had the words like vagina or vulva or like a lot of different, you know, which still is like empowering and amazing. But I don't know, we just ended on Tough Titties because it was kind of like if you don't like something, Tough Titties. We're putting on feminist comedy. If you like, you know, if that offends you, Tough Titties. Like, you know, if you're somebody who doesn't believe in feminism, well, Tough Titties, you're not, well, you're welcome here. You can come watch.
Yeah, you can come watch. It's
Maybe you
fine.
can learn a few things. No, I don't know. It kind of encapsulated everything. I think that's why we can't really remember any of the other names, because when we landed on Tough Titties, we were like, oh yeah, Tough Titties. Like, it just fit so well, and it punches just as the title itself, and it kind of like, I don't know, it explains it. I don't know what else can I say there.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Great
It just
question.
encapsulated-
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I might just turn me down a little bit. Okay, so what was I going to ask? Oh, okay. You just talked about the main reason we're here, feminism. Let's talk feminism. Why not? There's a big vagina on the wall. Go for it.
Yeah,
It's
go
not a hot
vagina.
dog. Somebody said that earlier.
Did they?
No, and I
Well-
was like, not a hot dog.
That was just men.
It may have been.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We're like, we'll show you what it looks like.
Well, who's excited for the Barbie movie, first of all?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm very excited. I love Greta Gerwig. I think it's going to be very, like, revolutionary. I feel like it's going to take something that's a classic and flip it on its head, which I think is something that we try to do. I don't know, tying it back into Tough Titties. No, but I think it's going to be really groundbreaking, and I'm really excited. I think that a lot of people don't, like, know what to expect, and I think that that's I don't know, it's very thrilling and exciting.
Which I think is what I felt coming into this show as well, because obviously I heard so much about it before coming to see the show, and so I had this anticipation. I was like, what am I in for? You know, especially like as myself, like a cis straight man, you know, I was very much just like, is this going to be for me?
Yeah.
You know, and so I know so I was, but loved everything because it is like it pokes fun at, you know, a lot of different things that you yourself can kind of let down your walls and go, you know, I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to like take this all in and kind of try to open myself to that sort of feminist message that you're bringing across as well. But I want you to talk about, I'd love for you to talk about how you kind of built that message throughout in order to not be, what's the word I want to use? Not provoke, but also like educate at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it can be a very fine line when it comes to that, like berating and provoking versus educating as well. Yeah. So I think that's something that we both spend a lot of time in the writing sessions, just checking in with each other, making sure like what's the point, what are we trying to say, what are our intersectional like morals and themes that we're trying to like, and it's just basically stripping back and going to basics and making sure that like we go, why did we start this? What's the point and what's the message?
Yeah.
And I also think that having different people's opinions on it, it's not just us sitting there writing it, being like, no, don't look, you can't change anything. Like, we're very much open to people's opinions. And when we workshop, when we, you know, have other people have a look or listen, it's great to hear other people's opinions, because some people may be like, oh, that actually is a bit offensive, or that's maybe towing the line too much. And we're like, okay, that's great to hear. Let's bring it back. So it's very important to us to be collaborative, and I think that's what makes it. That's what makes it that way. So we're not like teaching people. Like we always like to say, we're like, oh, we're gonna like give you a hug and like make you laugh, and then we'll be like, oh, have you thought of this? Okay, just sit with it. Okay, now we'll make you laugh again. We'll make you feel safe. So yeah, that's we kind of like try and do that with the order as well, so we can kind of like still make you laugh and make you feel like you want to be there.
Yeah.
But learn something maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before I ask you my very big question, this is my deep one, I'd love to throw it back out to the audience. If anyone's thought of another question in your minds, we can open up to you guys. Anyone out there got a question? We can pop the mic on. Oh, we got one right down the front. Hang on. Sorry, Rach, give me 1 second.
Everyone's shy today.
Hang on. This is all new to me. I'm not a tech guy.
You're literally nailing it.
Thank you.
It's like, none of us could do this. This is great.
Hello.
All right,
this
go
is
for it.
Rachel. Hi, can you hear? Yes, you can hear me. Fantastic. Where was my question? Here we are. Hello.
Hello. The question was, writing together, how do you find that? Like, do you more collaborate when you're doing it, or will you write the pieces standalone? Like, I'm curious, what's your process for building the show together? And then, like, how you curate the final kind of I guess, version of sketches, because I'm sure there are many that don't make the cut. So, yeah, just really curious how you get there.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like we both have different ways on like writing and whatnot. Like I like to spitball and talk and think it through, and I like to also self-sabotage and leave it to the very last minute and be like, boo.
I thought you were going to say that I don't like to think. I was like, yeah,
no.
that too.
No.
Yeah.